show here at April 10th studios. Featuring analyst all Matt Moscardi. On today's weekly wrap-up, Jeff Shell's Shell game. Nobody knows who Jeff Shell is.
No, that one is lost.
Maine hates data.
That's
the state
true.
of Maine. And then this joke the writers tried to get in, and Sam Control Alt Delete Man never goes away.
I begrudgingly like that joke.
Yeah, okay. I would love to Control Alt Delete Man Sam. I would love it. Can we do that?
One that was hard.
Can we
to follow.
end process? Can we just like right click on him and then end task?
So on the command prompt when I'm running Python code, it's Control C actually. So either one would work. Either one.
Our show today is being sponsored by Free Float Analytics and freefloatanalytics.com. The only platform measuring board power, connections, performance for free. When do we get? Come on, when are we getting it?
It's a good question. Should be by now already, but I didn't see the update yet. I got to talk to the team there and the back end staff because
as much as I love our sponsors, feel free to reach out if you have any. If you want to be a sponsor, if you know of any new sponsors.
Yeah, we will happily kick every one of our sponsors to the curb if you offer us more money.
Yeah, we could put them at the end of the show, and we could take you as a new one. All right, you ready? You ready for this? I know you have things to do today.
A lot of things to do, but a lot of things to say. This is a big day,
Oh, no.
and I totally switched up. Did you see what? Did you
No.
see my? You haven't seen anything, so you're gonna
No.
be surprised. I totally switched up. All right, let's get this. Let's do the story of the week first.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for you.
No, because I'm doing something antithetical to my personality.
Let me tell everyone that Matt was saddled with this responsibility of picking Assholiest of the week, or maybe he chose it. I'm going to pretend like he was assigned it. But so he
I think it was
comes
by
off.
unanimous consent.
So he comes off as being the jerk, like he's constantly branding everyone an
Angry,
asshole. But
ranty,
it's just his job on the show. So I was thinking, we could retire it. We could just have like an Assholiest, like we do Goodliest, and just name a few and move on. You could.
So
But
it actually it hurts my soul to do just Goodliest. I can't. It's not really a part of me,
that says it
okay?
all. Okay, you ready for stories of the week?
Yeah, let's do it.
Jeff Shell, the aforementioned Jeff Shell. He's the president and board director at Paramount Skydance. Paramount Skydance is the new, is it even a real company? It's like the fake media company that's owned by the Nepo baby David. I shouldn't say owned. It's run by David Ellison. His daddy bought it for him.
Daddy bought it for him?
His daddy literally bought it for him. Netflix was going to buy Warner Bros. Discovery, and because it was a much better offer, they were going to accept. And then Daddy came in and said, "No, I have many, many millions in my pocket, and I'll buy it."
Do you know how Daddy funded buying it?
Go ahead,
at least
tell
in
me.
part.
Well, I know a lot of Middle Eastern friends.
Okay,
right?
so there's actually the funders of the Paramount, Warner Brothers deal, but Daddy also funded it by firing 30,000 Oracle employees, which increased his equity stake by over $6 billion. He made
Wall
in
Street
equity
they love layoffs.
$6 billion.
They love that.
Which definitely helps defray the cost of buying your kiddo a whole company so that they can pretend to be news people.
Buying them a legacy media company. It's like, where's that going exactly? Good luck with that. But CBS is already. Basically, CBS News is cratering under his first decision. He put some anti-woke woman.
My
in charge.
retirement fund is 50% Kodak and 50% Radio Shack stock.
Right.
I'm on the
Jeff
way.
Shell. So he's stepping down after allegations of SEC violations. This came from a whistleblower who basically said that Jeff Shell shared confidential information in violation of SEC rules. Now the company, surprise, surprise, said Jeff did nothing wrong, but yet, he's still gone.
He's still,
right?
they still let him go.
So he clearly did something bad or something happened. Now, here's the part I like. Jeff Shell previously left his role as NBC Universal's CEO only 3 years ago after he admitted to having an inappropriate relationship with an employee. So this is who this guy is. I mean, this is who this culture attracts, right? It's just like people who screw up and get fired for doing things they shouldn't do, and here we go again.
The real question needs to be, how did he get a job at Paramount after that?
And speaking of which, this is how you fail up in this world. So you do many things wrong, and then you activate your separation agreement, which the company gives you.
Is that a button?
And you get about $16 million. Now, that's $11 million in equity acceleration, now, which they didn't have to do, right? And then how about this? $5 million in cash. How about that?
Cash. Wow.
Yeah, and then some, and then like something that a lot of Americans don't have, you get some health insurance and some other good stuff like that. Yeah.
Let me ask our listeners, how many times has $5 million in cash been deposited in your account, like your ADP, account, whatever? How many times does that happen to anybody? Because that's a lot of cash to just drop.
Yeah. Well, part of the reason why is that media executives get huge base salaries. So part of the severance is that he gets a year of salary. His salary alone is $3.5 million. So he's getting it for doing nothing.
Speaking of huge
for screwing
salaries,
up, for being a sucky dude, he's getting cash.
I mean, David Zaslav failed up. Like, his companies are big failure. Like, they didn't make any more money. He gave an $887 million golden parachute. Yeah. I've never actually understood media executive pay. Is it possibly the most decorrelated to actually what they do and their performance? Because media is dying. Every one of the executives is making more money than they've ever made in the history of time.
Yeah, media is so horrible that I saw Issa Rae. She created a show for HBO I liked, and she's now creating. I don't even know what they're called. Like they're called. It sounds horrible. It makes me hate her. They're called like micro dramas on TikTok. So we can't even watch a 20-minute HBO show anymore. Now we're watching like 34-second. Like, so good luck with all this. Anyway, that's what happens. Jeff Shell. There you go. That's my first story of the week. Okay, it's kind of an old-fashioned story, isn't it?
Yeah, but he really set you off. Like, he bothered you.
I hate this protected class of executives and directors. It just makes me mental. I mean, I don't know what they can. I mean, how do you screw up in that way? He's gonna resurface. I mean, he'll be on another board soon or something, right? It's too much. The next one, I hate to do this. It's really the New Yorker's fault, but kudos to the New Yorker for covering, for pretending like they are business pants for the week.
Yeah.
A bunch of headlines. The problem is Sam Altman. OpenAI insiders don't trust CEO. Inside sources say Sam Altman is a sociopath. OpenAI insiders claim Sam Altman is lying, manipulative, and untrustworthy in the New Yorker's investigation. I don't know. On top of that, we also reported this week it always seems to be women leaving OpenAI, but 2 OpenAI execs are going on medical leave. That's Chief Marketing Officer Kate Rausch and Fiji Simo, who really might be the smartest adult in the room, because from what you hear about Sam is that first of all, he's a college dropout, and yeah, we do make fun of that.
Yep.
Second of all, the sources tell you that he doesn't know anything about any of it. He can't code. He can't really do much. Like,
he sounds like me.
But what he is an incredible salesperson. In fact, one of his mentors, I think, said that if he landed, and this is true, if he landed on an island full of cannibals, he would come out like 5 years later as the king of the cannibals. You know what I mean? Like, he's that kind of weird car salesman. Yeah. So anyway, Fiji Simo also stepping down for medical reasons. Now, here's the part I wanted to point out, is that this also triggered me. She said, quote, "For my entire time here, I've postponed medical tests and new therapies to stay completely focused on the job and not miss a single day of work." So the company and the industry that we're asking to slow down, to stop disrupting humanity, to just wait for the regulations, wait for the guardrails, get some adults in the room. They're actually telling us that even though they're dying and sick, they never stop. They're just they're at it all the time. They're just ramming this down our throats.
Did you read the article?
I haven't yet.
It's very long. I read the whole thing.
What's your assessment?
So it is one of the best.
Really?
articles I've ever read.
I'm kind of afraid. The reason why I haven't is I'm just afraid of feeling more depressed.
So
is
it very clearly is laying the foundation for what will be a book 2 years from now about Sam Altman and the Uber-like, Theranos-like atmosphere that surrounds him. Like
the one that we supported, that we 2 years ago when he was voted out and fired from his board, the one that we passionately supported that firing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about the article. That's the thing that's like, it's in there, but kind of is getting glossed over in the headlines related to the article, which is like, the headlines are Sam Altman is lying, manipulative, and untrustworthy. You know who said that?
Mm-hmm.
Tasha McCauley and Helen Toner, the board members of OpenAI, who were the only ones let go.
Doing their jobs
because they said he wasn't candid. What they were saying was he's a big fat fucking liar.
Yeah, what they basically said is that
this article literally goes through step by step what an incredibly narcissistic, self-obsessed, manipulative liar he is.
Well, let's not forget that his co-founder, Ilya Sutskever, if I'm saying that right, nobody knows if I'm saying that right.
Not even Ilya.
Also voted to fire Sam Altman, and it was only after, I think he talked to his wife, talked to someone, or he got emotionally involved with the idea of Sam leaving, and he got sad and he changed his mind. He started crying, but he also agreed. Sam at that point was basically called duplicitous, right? He was going around saying one thing to one person. He wasn't telling board members everything they needed to know. He was also subverting the what do you call it? The motto, what was it?
For the benefit of all humanity or whatever.
Yeah,
like the mission.
The mission statement of the nonprofit. He was absolutely subverting it.
It wasn't that he was subverting it. It was that it literally is not a thing. None of the things. When you read the articles, when you read the article, you understand that nothing that he says is a thing as soon as he doesn't want it to be a thing, and he Jedi mind tricks everyone into thinking that it never really was that important. This is the path we were always on, and it's a new path, and it's
sounds horrible.
It's really, really, it's something.
Well, no wonder. That makes me understand even more now why so many OpenAI employees stood up and didn't want him to leave, because you're right, it does sound like a Jedi mind trick.
So the reason why they didn't want him to leave is he was bringing them down a path where it was going to be a for-profit company. They had all joined a nonprofit and taken less money.
Oh,
and
they
realized
or something?
Yes, they realized that all of a sudden there was this opportunity where they'd all literally be billionaires. And if they lost Sam Altman and this board won, so none of it is
there's no proof of that. There's no proof in that anyway.
But there's literally nothing about what happened that's altruistic, and as evidenced by the fact that the people they brought in to replace Helen Toner and Tasha McCauley were Epstein, Larry Summers.
That's right, Larry Summers, who had already on record for being a misogynist jerk. In fact, that's why he lost his presidency at Harvard, essentially. And he's the one they find, and then of course he's implicated in the Epstein files. I mean, of course.
And then Brett Taylor, the ultimate tech bro, who was the co-founder at Salesforce, who was the chair of the board at Twitter when they negotiated with Elon Musk, who's friends with all of them. That the two of them were in charge of the investigation into whether or not Sam Altman was lying to the board. They hired Wilmer Hale, the law firm, and it turns out that the law firm produced zero written report because they didn't want anything on the record. They gave an oral report to Larry Summers and Brett Taylor. Brett Taylor went on the record in this article of saying, because we had an oral report, we didn't need anything in writing, so it was fine. Wow. I mean, it's fucking crazy, the level that these people, the level of narcissism and insularness in Silicon Valley, how much money is involved, and how they all just operate around power and money. That's it.
I will say, this is why we were on this pulpit of this very nerdy fight to get rid of, at least I think you agree with me, get rid of all dual class companies.
Oh, 100%.
Get rid of controlled companies, especially in this industry. Get rid of CEOs who are also chairs. We need like actual governance.
If Donald Trump is looking to obliterate a civilization, obliterate the civilization of dual class shares and fake public companies.
This is too much. This is scary. Now I got to tell you, kudos to the New Yorker. First of all, before I move on to the next story, they have a much more diplomatic title. The story is called "Sam Altman May Control Our Future. Can He Be Trusted?" Now, if you go to that article online, they have a fabulous animation of Sam. He's got like
removing his face.
He has like 8 different faces, and he's taking them off and changing. It's really a fabulous animation. Anyway, that's our second story. Ready to move on from Sam?
Yeah, please.
Wouldn't it be great if like we could make decisions in this world? Like we could just step in and get rid of dual class shares, like at Facebook or Meta or whatever. Like it was up to us.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
Yeah,
I think they should just turn it all off. That sounds like a better idea.
Okay, now we get super nerdy. Proxy advisor ISS recommended a vote against the BP board for revoking 2 resolutions from 2015 and 2019, which required company-specific climate reporting. Now, both of those resolutions passed with near unanimous support. At the same time, follow this, the activist shareholder that was sued by Exxon, they are warning BP that they're going to sue them if they don't put their separate shareholder resolution on the agenda. So all that's going on. Do you want to say anything about that before I get to the other part of the story I wanted to mention?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
here's the other part I found in the headlines.
Not shocking.
Yesterday. The kind of the flip side of this is this craziness going on in Oklahoma. Oklahoma bill would block climate change lawsuits against fossil fuel companies.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even, and I just want, we're talking about this insular bro culture. This a lot of what the new data demonstrates too is the insular networks of some of these boards. In fact, we covered Adobe yesterday on the Proxy Countdown show, and you were talking about the network is like 83% connected. It's basically the same person. They all come from the same friendship, same poker game. But listen to this. I just wanted to say this as an aside to what's going on in this world. This bill was partly co-written by Anthony Moore. He's a Republican in Oklahoma. He said the legislation would protect the industry, right, which includes oil and gas and all that. He says the reality is if you were to get that judgment, billions and billions of dollars, that would be passed. That would be the companies themselves would charge the customers, he's saying, so we can't have anyone
sort of like a tariff.
Right, like he's saying that if we sue the oil companies because they're creating climate change damage, they're just going to charge us anyway. They're going to make gas prices go up, so let's not do it. Like this is his crazy logic. And I just want to tell you who Representative Anthony Moore is. I'm just going to just list some things about him. I'm not even going to tell you which side of the aisle I'm on for what I think about these attributes. But I'm just going to tell you some of his things from his biography. He won a state championship in golf. He minored in Bible in college. I didn't know you could do that. He minored in Bible. He began his professional career. He began his professional career as a landman in the oil and gas industry.
Oh, shocking.
His law practice focuses primarily on oil and gas and has received numerous recognitions for his work representing oil and gas mineral owners, earning Super Lawyers Rising Star recognition in the field of oil and gas law for 5 consecutive years. So congratulations. So this whole like anti-woke thing, it's really not anti-woke, anti-ESG.
It's always money. It's
always bullshit.
Always money.
Nonsense.
Every single. You know what? The problem was the woke thing. If we're going to talk about the anti-woke thing, the woke thing turned into money too. Greenwashing, selling fake ratings or things that didn't do what they said, like giving everything like a woke name or sustainable name or like it's
Remember
all
we used to count,
it's always money.
We used to open annual reports of companies that had like no diversity in leadership anywhere, and we just count like like brown faces
like penises,
and women
like
they're everywhere. But yeah,
so I do want to stop really quickly and say his quote is, the reality is if you were to get that judgment, billions and billions of dollars, that's just passed on to the taxpayer. Okay, I just pulled up from his from a website that he applauded the tariffs, right? Like
he did.
That's literally
it's the same. Oh my God!
It's a tax
passed
on to the taxpayer.
Yes, of course.
All right, move on.
Finally, here's a guy who desperately needs. Not only does he need access to free float analytics, all the data, and maybe a pretty good consulting contract, is a man named Mark Cuban. So here's the headline. This guy, he's just the worst governance analyst I've ever heard of. Mark Cuban admits he made a mistake letting go of the Mavericks. He sold his basketball team for $4 billion, $1,000 trillion.
I think that was the real number.
Because that's how much games are worth somehow, like the little bouncy balls. He said, "I don't regret selling. I regret who I sold to." Now this made me insane. Because all Mark
this is like trigger words for
Mark,
you.
I know you're a listener. All you do is call us up or write.
Yeah, we could have told you
email
the name
address.
Yeah.
Because here's who he sold to. He sold to Sheldon Adelson, the family of Sheldon Adelson. He is the founder, chair, and CEO of Las Vegas Sands Corporation. He's
super
dead.
Conservative. Super
he's dead,
conservative.
But
family.
his whole network is within our database. Yes, he owned. So again, it was a controlled company. He owned more than 50% of the stock. Even then, he still took home $25 million in pay and $5 million in security costs, even though which is really, you don't see that a lot for controlled company. This guy was a greedy bastard. I mean, usually they take like a little bit of money, right?
How on earth was he going to pay for the Mavericks if he didn't just take it all?
His son-in-law, Patrick Dumont, who ended up being the general manager, right, at the Mavericks, who traded their star player for like a bag of peanuts. He was also the CFO and a director at Las Vegas Sands Corporation. Now, to your point, he was Donald Trump's largest donor in 2016 and 2020. All the information I could scrape as of 2024, so I couldn't even get the last 2 years. The family has already given $557 million, $500 million to Trump and the Republican Party. I love this quote that he had in February 2012. He told Forbes magazine that he was against very wealthy people attempting to influence elections.
Oh, he said that?
But yes, he said, quote, "But as long as it's doable, I'm going to do it." There's so much more I could say. I have so much more information that I'm not going to go into. I don't want to bore the audience.
Yeah.
But Mark Cuban, come on, dude. Like, is this genuine?
He didn't have Google when he sold them. I think Google
Free
was
Flow
down.
Analytics is free.
The internet was down
it's
for him.
Free.
Maybe his router went out.
And he can reach out to us, but you think that's? I mean, what do we? Mark, and again, thank you for being a great salesperson for our company. This is exactly what we're trying to say every day. Is that you got to know who these people are. There are people making decisions at these courts. They're real people.
All right. So my four options are Jeff Shell, Sam Altman, the BP lawsuit, and with sidecar of Oklahoma Bill.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I tacked that.
And
one.
Mark
I just
Cuban.
had to put that somewhere. Yeah.
It's Sam Altman. It's Sam
Can
Altman.
I just tell you that
long.
Here's my problem. We have so many incredible, really just interesting headlines that come through our company and our shows. It's like you can't even get them all out anymore.
It's really hard.
So sometimes we do kind of slip them in where they don't belong.
Yeah. All right.
Like that one. All right. So Sam Altman was story of the week. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Altman.
Sam Altman triggered me so much that I got into a stuttering loop back there. I couldn't my brain was fired.
What's a mission?
I couldn't handle it.
You were like ChatGPT.
Yeah, I lost it.
You've got one. I've got two.
I'll get mine out of the way so that you can go on a roll. The state of Maine, where I live, this has nothing to do with Maine. It just happens to be Maine. Set to become first state with data center ban.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna make it all the way through the House and Senate, and I assume the governor's in a tight primary race with another for Senate, and I think she's gonna sign it. It's gonna happen.
I have two, and one is the BP chair faces shareholder backlash over climate vote block.
But that's part of the same story I covered.
It's part of the same story you covered.
But I don't like just the chair. It should be the whole board, no?
But people are calling for the entire board to
good.
be fired too.
Because the Europeans, they always do that. They very politely just target the chair, which I think is fine, but you can target more than just the chair.
I know. You like be a little more expansive. It's not one person. It's not just the one. But the other one I chose was Elon Musk seeks ouster of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman as part of a lawsuit.
Yeah.
So I don't like celebrating things that Elon Musk does, but at this point, I'm willing to make a deal with Satan in order to get something done, because I'm pretty sure Elon Musk and his dopey cars and his dopey rockets do not pose the existential threat that AI and Sam Altman do.
Well, what are you talking about?
Musk's AI is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But nobody likes Musk's AI. Like it's so
nobody
bad.
Nobody likes Musk anymore.
I mean, his AI is so bad that he's forcing banks to buy it as part of the IPO of SpaceX, right?
Yeah.
So like nobody wants it so much that like he's like, oh, to
incels
get my other
like
money.
Neo-Nazis, incels, they love it.
I think it's like college-age men. Those are the only ones
who
like
lurk in like dark corners and
in the dining hall with binoculars.
Oh God.
But Elon Musk has been in a long-running lawsuit and is featured prominently in the article. A long-running lawsuit against Sam Altman and OpenAI.
Is this possible?
And
he's now going against their nonprofit mission, right?
He's suing them for like billions of dollars, and he's saying all the damages should be donated to the OpenAI Foundation only if Sam Altman is gone.
This
from
is
the company.
cute, but this is not going to happen, right?
I just love that, like the world's richest man. First of all, he's incredibly petty. He's such a man-child. Like
he's
everything about him is a man-child.
Yeah.
But
that's nice if you call him a man-child.
Is taking on the world's biggest threat, which is
this is not going to happen. I mean,
I just like it.
I love it, but I mean, we're at a point where the federal government is not allowing states to even regulate AI. I mean, and now they're yelling at Europe for finding tech companies
doing it themselves. Yeah,
right. It's like you're not allowed to touch this industry. It's like you can't vote anyone out because everything's controlled by their masters.
One of the things in the article is Sam Altman proposed basically a giant bidding war to offer AI to the countries that were willing to pay the most for it and then leave the other ones out. And he said it worked for the nuclear arms race. Like, this is how they think. That's how they think. All right. Okay. So what's the best? What's the good
Maine. Data center banning.
Right. Let's
ban something.
I'm doing a 1 week stint and see how it goes. I called my segment Reasons for Hope.
Are you on your new meds or something? Like, what happened? Are you drinking water or what happened?
I've been drinking a lot of water, but
okay,
my coffee is still on board. My kids are on vacation next week.
Oh, that's why. Are you sending them to like the moon or something?
No. You want to know the real problem? I've spent so much time with these AI chatbots trying to code things that we need for data.
Thank you.
So much time.
Appreciate
that
it.
It's making me a worse person. Like,
and you were already pretty bad.
I am not joking. It is if you have any sort of mental health problems, it is horrible for you.
Well, they're already
it is lying, narcissistic,
that's just
lazy.
Not Matt saying it. There are already studies that back that up.
I am living it. Like, I feel myself becoming a worse human. So I wanted to celebrate Reasons for Hope to sort of turn around my fortunes.
I'm already hopeful because I didn't know you could get worse. So there's some hope in that, right? You have room to grow. That's cool.
There's room for growth. No, there's a lot of room for growth.
Yeah.
All right. Number one reason for hope: journalism.
Oh, there's still journalism.
This piece on Sam Altman proves there's still journalism.
Because I know that the New York Times is under fire this week for using AI already to write things.
And
Washington Post is basically
the Washington
collapsing.
Post just came out
because
with
why?
Embrace the
because
AI
a
slop.
billionaire bought it. Yeah.
Yes. These are
By the
assholes.
way, can I just say, and I'm sorry for derailing you, but that was another thing that I was going to say about the guy Mark Cuban sold it to, is that he also bought the biggest newspaper in Nevada and destroyed it. That's another thing that's what billionaires do. They destroy journalism.
Yeah, they're very good at it.
Very good at it. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm going to shut up now.
what they don't like is transparency. You don't become a billionaire loving transparency. That's just not the way it works.
The first thing he did, he fired the editor. He got a new editor, and the first mandate was don't write bad shit about me and my company
anymore. That's literally why Elon Musk bought Twitter, so that everyone had to listen to him, and no one could say bad things about him. So this Sam Altman piece, I mean, I'll give you a couple quotes from it. Okay.
This is Ronan Farrow.
This goes back to his old school days. Groups of senior employees concerned with Altman's leadership and lack of transparency asked Loop's board. Looped was his first company. Looped board on 2 occasions to fire him as CEO, according to Hagee. He was actually a different board of a different startup.
Stop.
Was asked to fire him as CEO because he's a liar.
So really, that I know Futurism had a headline suggesting he was a sociopath, but he might actually, there was a study back when we were at the mothership that looked at CEO behavior, and they basically did label them as sociopaths.
Of course, but this is okay. Which leads me to the next quote. Quote, we have interviewed more than 100 people with firsthand knowledge of how Altman conducts business. Current and former OpenAI employees and board members, guests and staffers at Altman's various houses, his colleagues and competitors, his friends and enemies, and several people who have given the mercenary culture of Silicon Valley have been both. Yet, most of the people we spoke to shared the judgment of Sutskever and Amody. Altman has a relentless will to power that even among industrialists who put their names on spaceships sets him apart.
Wow.
He's unconstrained by truth.
Oh, no.
The board member told us he has 2 traits that are almost never seen in the same person. The first is a strong desire to please people, to be liked in any given interaction. The second is an almost sociopathic lack of concern for the consequences that may come from deceiving someone. In fact, that's what the article lands on.
Yeah.
Multiple people, unprompted, called him a sociopath.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That last statement in a nutshell kind of encapsulates my thoughts about this AI generation, right? Is that we are being promised that it'll solve everything. But we're not. But there is a complete lack of concern for the potential consequences of rushing something out without guardrails or without adults in the room. And that's the thing that scares me the most, right? Is that no one slows down to think about those things. It's only just this rosy picture. And that's Sam. And that's really Sam.
That's Sam. That's his whole life. So there's
was ChatGPT and OpenAI that created this ballgame.
If you want to be terrified, read the New Yorker article. But the next piece of journalism is much more small and babyish, but equally as important.
And listen to Business Pants regularly.
Here's the headline: Senator who criticized Disney for being too woke spotted at Disney World.
Well, okay. Is that a surprise? Wait, this is part of your. Oh, this is journalism. You're praising journalism.
This is praising journalism.
Okay. Because I like what you're doing here. There's still assholes, but you're praising things that cover assholes.
Right, exactly. Well, the thing here is, the point is, so this is Senator Rick Scott from Florida.
Oh, it wasn't even Lindsey Graham, because Lindsey Graham was also photographed at Disney.
This is a different senator.
Oh, God.
Who was photographed by TMZ at Disney World. He said, quote, Disney used to be the happiest place on earth. Now it's just woke central. It's on the losing side of an issue that the majority of families, regardless of political ideology, agree with. He also criticized Disney, adding, quote, Disney tries to lecture us with these extreme views. The mouse is completely unwilling to speak up for freedom and against real oppression in places such as communist China.
Oh, we're back to China. I love it. Yeah.
That's what he said in 2023, 2022, 23, 24.
Those warmongers, the Chinese.
Being anti-woke was really loud and cool. He was just photographed there having fun at Disney World.
Because
journalism matters.
Yeah, because what he said is there's no validity in anything he said originally. The real Rick Scott is the guy who goes to Disney because he's there.
the thing about journalism,
the fake Rick Scott is all that crap about there. Because what Disney, all I see when I see Disney is like a commodification beast. Like it just sells everything all the time.
There's
no
wokeism. Marketing, yeah.
It's not a professor at like McAllister in Minneapolis. It's something that sells everything to you constantly. Like that's all it is.
But here's what I like. Here's the reason for hope. Journalism has memory. Like unlike the internet anymore, journalism is about going back in time, giving you the full picture, the context. Nobody talks about Sam Altman at Looped. Nobody anywhere. Have you ever read an article about Sam Altman's time at Looped?
No.
Or when he got the job at Y Combinator as the head of Y Combinator? In fact, Sam Altman, when he was the head of Y Combinator, also was pushed out of the head.
Yeah, they did report on that when he was fired originally. Yeah. Like, no, you're right. So much of that gets swallowed. You're right.
And just being able to say, Rick Scott is at Disney World. Didn't that guy say he fucking hated Disney World? Like, that is important. So that's number one. Reason for hope, journalism. Number two, local resistance.
It's got to be on the state level, I guess.
Yeah, you already said Maine is set to become the first state to ban data centers. And that's the great con. Like, Maine is recognizing that these data centers, they're promising jobs, but really all it is subsidies paid to billionaires, energy consumption, water problems.
Yeah, right.
Like horrible pollution, and like no one wants to live near them. There is no upside. They want them for like the abundance. And Maine is a state that doesn't have a water problem until you put 12 data centers there.
Yeah, I was going to say that the one thing Maine does have going for it is just an incredible access to incredible water. And I was thinking with these data centers, like, yeah, that could be the one thing that ruins our access to incredible water.
Everything, right? But that Maine is just one. There's a city in Wisconsin that also just voted to ban a town. It's just like a smallish town that voted to ban data centers. You pull the headline, despite apocalyptic warnings, California fast food wage hike didn't kill jobs.
Yeah, there was a blowhard franchisee from Carl's Jr. Today who claimed that that's the reason why he had to close a lot. It's like, no, because you suck at your job.
You suck. Yeah, it turns out raising people's wages didn't cost anyone their jobs.
No, of course not.
And there's a growing list of countries that are banning young people from social media. It's like,
I love that one so much.
The local resistance is a reason for hope, because there are pockets of it everywhere. And it could be your town. It could be you in your home just doing something small, like unsubscribing from bullshit and not paying, like unsubscribe from Instagram. The only person who benefits from Instagram is Mark Zuckerberg. He got your attention. You get nothing out of it. It's not actually good for you.
I wish the sentiment would flow upwards, though, because I know you're gonna. This is where you roll your eyes at me, because it's like wishful thinking times 25 million. But we should, stock exchanges. They should be banning. There shouldn't be tech companies with dual class dictators. Like, what are we doing?
That's like the problem with the reason why it has to be local resistance is the money flows up, right?
No, I know.
No one in the local place has the money. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So the resistance comes from the place where you don't have the money and you get trampled, right? Like by the money. So the money plays the same game where they are looking to gaslight you and crush you and get your attention, get you to use their products, never stop, threaten your jobs, threaten you every way they can. And the locale, like the local places, your town, they're the ones. I mean, I've been going to town meetings and they're talking about how like waste management companies want to charge another $1 million next year to just pick up the same trash.
Right.
And it's like that happens in every town, everywhere. And the only places that can fight are your town. Like, if just start composting, right? Like, and don't pay a fucking asshole billionaire who owns a trash company more money for nothing.
How about this? It makes this dystopic push from the Trump administration all the worse. That the second administration starts with this nonsense Doge, which really is a cover story. So they're pretending like big government is bad, right? But really, what they're doing is kind of quietly dismantling oversight and regulations. That was the real reason. It was a gift to CEOs and corporations. And then at the same time, where they're saying like, federal government bad, the federal government is telling states you cannot regulate against AI. Like it's crazy. I mean, that's so dystopic, and yeah. I mean, I can see why they're saying that, because if the resistance is going to start on that local level, they're trying to put out that fire before it even gets going. But that's what makes me mad about these. All right, I'm going to move on. I'm not going to get mad.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
or you're going to move on.
Yeah, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to the last two. The last two are short. Number 3, labor resistance.
Is there? We still have labor resistance still happening?
Gen Z workers are so fearful of AI will take their jobs. They're intentionally sabotaging their company's AI rollout.
I like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Do that.
There was a report, CNBC this morning, that that they take some, they have like these indexes, like the Consumer Health Index. They poll people. Even worse than COVID right now, they think that the job market is now worse than it was during COVID. This is how pessimistic and frightened people are.
It's not wrong. Like we covered on Tuesday's show, and I almost put it in here. But we covered on Tuesday's show, human resources, heads of human resources at S&P 500 companies have seen their salaries increase 30% in the last year and a half, 2 years. The reason is that all major companies are girding to fire you. That is not a joke. The only other time we saw that same canary in the coal mine was COVID, when they fired everybody.
That's true, right? It was their first thing they did, really, is the first
thing you do.
Despite that we went straight to the annual reports and 10Ks, they knew that these were potential risks. They cited pandemics as a risk, as a ongoing risk, and yet didn't have a plan for it, and decided, let's just fire people. That'll be the way out of this.
And the only way you can fire people is if you have a bulwark, a wall between you, management, and them, the employees.
Yeah,
right?
No union.
That bulwark is the HR team.
Yeah.
And you have to pay them, because if you lose them, it's just you and the barbarians.
Right. Well,
that's what you do.
They said that this is part of this new generation. Why Oracle fired those? I think it was at least 10,000 people recently. They did it over email, because part of the reason why is that it's like it's a safety issue. They don't want to fire them in person.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. If that's what you're worried about, then maybe you shouldn't be firing so many people in the first place. But yeah, okay.
But
what else?
There's a strike at ProPublica right now over the use of AI and forced use of AI in their journalism.
At ProPublica, they're using AI?
I'm telling you, that's what the reporting is.
Okay.
There was a strike for beef workers in Colorado. They just paused the strike, but the workers are still fighting.
Okay.
United Airlines and flight attendants just reached a tentative deal for $740 million in bonuses to get paid out.
Great deal. Yeah.
Labor is still a reason for hope. Like if you're worried about your AI future, you're sitting alone worried about it. You're not actually alone when you start talking to other people who you work with or in other industries in your position. Labor can push back. It has to. If it does not, you get fucking trampled, just like every municipality or local resistance.
The only labor movement or union that seems to suck these days is just Starbucks. They just seem toothless.
I don't know that. I know you're down on them, but
$17. They went from their demand already fell from $20 an hour to $17 an hour. That just made me sad.
I just they're fighting. They're still fighting something.
Yeah.
They're fighting a machine. And last.
Yes. So this is part of your reasons for hope.
Reasons for hope. Last reason for hope. Women.
Well, yeah, it goes without saying.
Mackenzie Scott rewrote the rules of philanthropy. That's one of the headlines. I saw this. There's an Bill Ackman, the fucking
speaking of Bill Ackman,
mouth-breathing blowhard.
Yeah, what we haven't covered is yet another baby billionaire who is trying to buy legacy media.
God.
He just
Universal,
yeah, $65 billion or something for Universal.
$64 billion is the headline number to try to buy Taylor Swift and Kanye West.
Remember we talked about this
or Kendrick Lamar or whatever.
When the misogynist, racist Nelson Peltz was trying to take over Disney. Remember we talked about this. We talked about how these babies they so need to take over media companies. Their egos are so massive that they need to be in media.
Well, in this
despite
case,
having no background, no expertise, no nothing about anything.
In this case, someone like his foundation that manages, or the group that manages his money, there was some dispute. He, problems. He has his nephew, his nepo, nephew, like come in and step in and look at her, like someone he's related to, and makes some comment to a woman that is probably not horrible, but if you feel threatened, you feel threatened. And the lawyer who was working there reported it, ended up getting fired, and demanded, rather than severance, demanded a payout. Basically said, no, you're firing me on, I don't like the reason you're firing me, whatever. This would have been one of those little disputes that happens in lots of places, except that Bill Ackman went public with it in a post on Twitter. He gave the woman a pseudonym. This is like 2 days ago, right?
Oh, the Business News has not picked up on this.
Gave the woman some pseudonym, and basically spent the entire post fucking shaming and bitching about woke culture, and this is the problem. And the people who flocked to his side to agree with him with no context, just listening to what Bill Ackman posted, included Elon Musk and Chamath Palihapitiya and all these fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Including our favorite asshole, Robbie Starbuck.
Oh, but not a real journalist, citizen journalist.
Yeah, said, quote, "There is a system that preys more on white males because it's like they are outside the victim hierarchy."
Right.
And when you say that, women must be the beacon of hope. They're the reason. They must be winning. You people don't. A multiple billionaire is bitching about a lawyer who worked for him, who's upset about something they felt like was unsafe or hostile at the workplace, and you are bitching in public about it, and you threatened. He said in his post that he will fight this to the ends of the earth. What a fucking dick, right? Like women, get out there and do it.
Yeah,
fight every step. You're the
get
reason
into
for
politics. Get into business. We need to take over. I mean, as I've said a million times in these shows, men have had their chance. Women should get the next 100 years, and then in 100 years, let's look at the data. Let's look at the findings, and we'll see how they did running everything, because the men are sucky at it.
So those are your 4 reasons for hope. Journalism, local resistance, labor resistance, and women. You got to pick.
Well,
your reason for hope this week.
Well, women are my reason for hope every week, so I'm going to skip that one. Labor resistance, yeah, but that's also kind of an evergreen. I'm really deciding between local resistance and journalism, but it's something that we don't talk about enough on the show is the importance of journalism. I mean, it's one of the most important parts of our democracy. In fact, I think corporate governance and journalism sort of are cousins, in the sense that they are trying to just expose things, right? They're just shining a light on
transparency.
Things.
Yeah,
and it is greatly disheartening to see the demise of all these great news agencies. A lot of them, because of billionaires and now like the because of the Mark Zuckerbergs in the world who've created these new drugs that people are getting addicted to, and they've ruined their attention spans, and they can't get beyond a headline, really. I mean, they can't actually read the whole article. So journalism. I gotta go with journalism.
All
so
right,
important.
I think that's the right answer. Let's move on. We'll do headlines, winners, predictions, and get out of here.
I mean, it almost is gonna have to revert to like a non-profit world or something, because is it gonna survive?
ProPublica is a non-profit, and
right?
They're using.
But the New Yorker's not. The New Yorker is an exception to the rule. I mean, it's.
There is one company that does like business journalism, but they also take activist stakes in the companies, and they might be the only future model I've ever seen, because there's no money otherwise. Nobody wants to pay for journalism.
Well, look, the New Yorker is fabulous, but they've raised their newsstand issue price. Like if you buy it like at the airport, I think it's up to like $12 or $13. I mean, you can't afford to read that, unfortunately. So, yeah. All right.
Headlines.
Yeah, I got an easy one. McDonald's CEO. I'll give you the background quickly. Chris Kempczinski last month he ate one of their McDonald's disgusting burgers.
Would you call it eating?
Well, he
nibbled
put it
on his mouth. Yeah,
he nibbled one of their new disgusting burgers, and he looked like horrified, like he was going to throw up. He wouldn't even. Basically.
He did not like it.
Everyone's been making fun of that. McDonald's CEO said he blames his mother.
Oh,
for his infamous Big Arch taste test. I like that he found the woman, the scapegoat, the female scapegoat.
It's his
mother. Yeah, because his mother told him not to talk with his mouth full.
Oh.
But yeah, let's find the woman and let's blame her. I love it. Yeah, blame your mom. Blame your mom.
I got two. The first one, you're looking at the AI revolution all wrong, top economist says. 40% unemployment and a 3-day work week are the same thing.
That's actually interesting because if you do the math, right? Because I'm going to do some pie math here. Because this is the extent of my math skills. That roughly a 5-day work week is each day represents 20%.
20%. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so if you subtract 2 of those days, right? 2 times 20 is 40. 40%.
Oh, I see.
Right. That's what they did there.
Yeah. That's
actually, I never really thought of that because the salaries are not going to remain the same. Yay! There's no way they're going to remain the same.
I love that is how they're selling it to you. Like, everyone's going to have a 4-day work week, and it's because in order to have a 4-day work week, 20% of the country needs to be unemployed.
Well, you know what? I hope it's just the women who get time off because the last thing society needs is more idle men.
No, definitely.
I don't want them at home. I don't want them wandering the streets. I don't want them at the malls. I don't want them at sports games.
But then women are going to be back to like washing dishes and bullshit, right? Like it's no win. Literally, abundance and 3 or 4-day work weeks is worse. It's 1830 again, right? That's what it is. All right, and the other one. CoStar Group ranked #1 on Washington Business Journal's list of women on public company boards.
Wait, okay, help me out with that. So CoStar Group is a publicly traded company.
Publicly traded company. They have 50% of their board is women.
I can guess. I know where you're going on this.
Negative 23% power gap.
Yeah, because
dictator CEO, 54% influence by himself.
Our industry has refused to evolve beyond the data of 2009. This is how, I'm not trying to shit on everyone in the industry, but the one thing that makes me feel most sad is that no one can get beyond those simple counting ESG stats of basically 2009.
Dumb. It's so dumb. I don't mean to sound crude here, but can you stop going into boardrooms and counting the vulvas? That's not the point. That's not the point.
And it's all right in front of you. The proxy itself tells you who has leadership positions. Like you can start there.
Here I took the most basic number that was left out of that article that you could use. The average female director tenure is 2 years. The average male director tenure is 15 years.
Wait, what?
Who do you think at CoStar Group has the power? The women who have been there for 2 years on average, or the men who have been there for 15 years on average?
How about this one? To back up what you're saying, a headline that we tagged, Swiss women company board quotas shows results, right? So they're talking about in Switzerland how there was a mandate to get at least 30% women on the board. Yeah. That's, I'm for mandates and quotas, but they have to go beyond just the counting, to your point. Yeah. Ready for this? Out of those 30 companies, 1 female board chair. 1.
1.
Right. So that's not results. That's not results. Yeah. That's
counting vulvas. We're doing it.
If anything, that might be like worse to me. Like there's something like sinister about that. Yeah. Okay.
Well, who's your winner for the week?
You're not going to like my winner. It's a falling up winner. Jeff Shell constantly falling upwards and getting paid for it. Because again, not only does he get kicked out of Paramount Skydance, he got kicked out of a Nepo baby company and gets $15 million to walk away for maybe being a crook. But just 3 years ago, he got fired for being a creep.
Yeah.
I mean, this is his track record.
That is winning, though.
Yeah,
that's winning.
Yeah, what do you got?
I had David Zaslav, but he hasn't actually gotten the $887 million. There's a vote on that, so I'm going to skip him.
That's cute of you. You think that even if shareholders reject it, you think he's not going to get like at least $500 million?
But I'm going to choose instead Nepo grandchildren.
Nepo grandchildren? We don't talk about that a lot. Like the Waltons or something? Who are you talking about?
No. Here's the headline. Hershey is moving back to the original recipe for Reese's peanut butter cups after the chocolate's grandson blasted them last month.
Oh, that's cute.
I think that's great. He's winning. I imagine like a 7-year-old or something being like, this tastes like ass.
Hershey's is gross. Get some dark chocolate.
Predictions.
All right, bear with me. You know me. Sometimes I only pick up I pick my headliniest just to set up my dumb joke and prediction. So my headliniest was McDonald's CEO said he blames his mother for his infamous big arch taste test. My prediction is the new BP CEO, Meg O'Neill, right? First external hire in 100 years, first woman to run a big oil company, blames her grandmother.
Oh.
She blames her sister. She blames her mom, her aunt. She blames herself. And she blames her daughter. And then apologizes after it is proven that BP's scaled back green energy targets missed out on revenue from the effects of the war in the Middle East, despite the fact that it wasn't her decision in the first place.
Oh,
well, so she's just going to be like apologizing and blaming other women and apologizing. Even though it wasn't her policy. And right?
Saddest prediction I've ever heard.
Because look what happens. Renewables are suddenly hot again now that Trump is killing more brown people. Yeah.
All right. My prediction this week. Are you ready for this?
I'm always ready. I'm especially ready to go to the bathroom, to be honest.
I built all my predictions off of one thing.
Okay.
Jamie Dimon says.
Oh, our favorite sayer. Our favorite. He's our favorite. Really, Jamie Dimon is the poet laureate of our show, if anyone was wondering.
These are...
No, he is. I mean, he says so many wonderful things. Yeah.
3 headlines of things he actually said just this week, and I built a prediction.
Just this week?
Just this week. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says, don't make big decisions when you're tired, especially if it's on Friday.
Oh, it's cute. It's like Garfield the cat.
So my prediction is no decisions are made on Fridays anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got it.
Jamie Dimon says New York, other cities face worker exodus as lawmakers push higher taxes.
Huh?
My prediction is all workers leave New York City.
Yeah,
all
right.
All of them.
Yeah,
all of them.
Jamie said
it. Finally, Jamie Dimon says inflation could be skunk at the party.
Oh.
Prediction, New York City party guests start bringing skunks.
Wait, but I thought they left New York. I don't know what kind of a party is this?
But maybe
it's not the workers, it's the owners. It's the landowners.
Yeah. That's all we got.
That's enough.
That's Hazelnut Rollis. I'm your analyst, Holman Mascari.
More
We
than
are
enough.
Free Float. Come back next week. We are on a weekly proxy countdown. If you didn't get our proxy countdown yesterday, we did a deep dive on Adobe. It was a good one.
That show.
You got to go listen to that if you're
I usually hate
voting
those shows.
at all.
That was a good one.
Go get that. Ann and Mike had a shareholder primacy this week. We're coming back on Tuesday and Friday. There's so much content, so come back for all of it. Until then, good